Good morning, friends. We are going to be reading Genesis 8 through 11 this morning. I have been liking the idea of prepping beforehand, so I have some commentary, some reading, some stuff for us to discuss. Let me just scroll to the top. How many points do I have today? I have 8. Yeah. I have 8 points. We're reading again Genesis 8 through 11 today. I feel like I'm having deja vu right now. Like I already did this, but no, I did not. I'm like, right? Yeah, I did not. And let me check it off now. We did Romans the other day. So let's jump right into it because I do have to volunteer today. So from here, I'm heading out into the city to meet a friend to do some city meals volunteering. I also applied for a job there. So let's see what happens.
Genesis 8. But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock that were with him in the ark. And he sent a wind over the earth, and the waters receded. Now the springs of the deep and the floodgates of the heavens had been closed, and the rain had stopped falling from the sky. The water receded steadily from the earth. At the end of the 150 days, the water had gone down. And on the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The waters continued to recede until the 10th month. And on the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains became visible. After 40 days, Noah opened a window he had made in the ark and sent out a raven. And it kept flying back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water had receded from the surface of the ground. But the dove could find nowhere to perch because there was water over all the surface of the earth. So it returned to Noah in the ark. He reached out his hand and took the dove and brought it back to himself in the ark. He waited 7 more days and again sent out the dove from the ark. When the dove returned to him in the evening, there in its beak was a freshly plucked olive leaf. Then Noah knew that the water had receded from the earth. He waited 7 more days and sent the dove out again, but this time it did not return to him. By the first day of the 1st month of Noah's 601st year, the water had dried up from the earth. Noah then removed the covering from the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. By the 27th day of the 2nd month, the earth was completely dry. Then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, the birds, the animals, and all the creatures that move along the ground, so they can multiply on the earth and be fruitful and increase in number on it." So Noah came out together with his sons and his wife and his sons' wives. All the animals and all the creatures that move along the ground and all the birds, everything that moves on land came out of the ark, one kind after another. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord. And taking some of all the clean animals and clean birds, he sacrificed burnt offerings on it. The Lord smelled the pleasing aroma and said in his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground because of humans, even though every inclination of the human heart is evil from childhood. And never again will I destroy all living creatures as I have done. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease." Genesis 9. Then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will fall on all the beasts of the earth and all the birds in the sky, on every creature that moves along the ground, and on all the fish in the sea. They are given into your hands. Everything that lives and moves about will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you everything. But you must not eat meat that has its lifeblood still in it. And for your lifeblood I will surely demand an accounting. I will demand an accounting from every animal, and from each human being too. I will demand an accounting for the life of another human being. Whoever sheds human blood, by humans shall their blood be shed. For in the image of God has God made mankind. As for you, be fruitful and increase in number. Multiply on the earth and increase upon it. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, I now establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, all those that came out of the ark with you, every living creature on earth. I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, This is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth, and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind on the earth. So God said to Noah, This is the sign of the covenant I have established between me and all life on the earth. The sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These were the three sons of Noah, and from them came the people who were scattered over the whole earth. Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard. When he drank some of its wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered inside his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father naked and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it across their shoulders. Then they walked in backward and covered their father's naked body. Their faces were turned the other way so that they would not see their father naked. When Noah awoke from his wine and found out what his youngest son had done to him, he said, Cursed be Canaan. The lowest of slaves will he be to his brothers. He also said, Praise be to the Lord, the God of Shem. May Canaan be the slave of Shem. May God extend Japheth's territory. May Japheth live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be the slave of Japheth. After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. Noah lived a total of 950 years. And then he died. Genesis 10. This is the account of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Noah's sons, who themselves had sons after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. The sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish, the Kittites, and the Rodanites. From these the maritime people spread out into their territories by their clans within their nations, each with its own language. The sons of Ham, Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Ramah, and Sabteka. The sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. Cush was the father of Nimrod, who became a mighty warrior on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. That is why it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The first centers of his kingdom were Babylon, Uruk, Akkad, and Calneh in Shinar. From that land he went to Assyria, where he built Nineveh, Rehoboth-ir, Calah, and Resen, which is between Nineveh and Calah, which is the great city. Egypt was the father of the Ludites, the Anamites, Lehabites, Naphtuhites, Pathrasites, Caslahites, from whom the Philistines came, and Caphtorites. Canaan was the father of Sidon, his firstborn, and of the Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Archites, Sinites, Arvadites, Zemarites, and Hamathites. Later the Canaanite clans scattered, and the borders of Canaan reached from Sidon toward Gerar as far as Gaza, and then toward Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim as far as Lasha. These are the sons of Ham by their clans and languages in their territories and nations. Sons were also born to Shem, whose older brother was Japheth. Shem was the ancestor of all the sons of Eber. The sons of Shem, Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram, Uz, Hul, Gether, and Meshech. Arphaxad was the father of Shelah, and Shelah the father of Eber. 2 sons were born to Eber. One was named Peleg, because in his time the earth was divided. His brother was named Joktan. Joktan was the father of Almadad, Shalef, Azarmaveth, Jerah, Adoram, Uzal, Dikla, Obal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were sons of Joktan. The region where they lived stretched from Mesha towards Saphar, in the eastern hill country. These are the sons of Shem by their clans and languages in their territories and nations. These are the clans of Noah's sons, according to their lines of descent within their nations. From these the nations spread out over the earth after the flood. Genesis 11. Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. As people moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other." So the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth. This is the account of Shem's family line. 2 years after the flood, when Shem was 100 years old, he became the father of Arphaxad. And after he became the father of Arphaxad, Shem lived 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Arphaxad had lived 35 years, he became the father of Shelah. And after he became the father of Shelah, Arphaxad lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah had lived 30 years, he became the father of Eber, and after he became the father of Eber, Shelah lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Eber had lived 34 years, he became the father of Peleg, and after he became the father of Peleg, Eber lived 430 years and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg had lived 30 years, he became the father of Reu, and after he became the father of Reu, Peleg lived 209 years and had other sons and daughters. When Reu had lived 32 years, he became the father of Serug, and after he became the father of Serug, Reu lived 207 years and had other sons and daughters. When Serug had lived 30 years, he became the father of Nahor. And after he became the father of Nahor, Serug lived 200 years and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor had lived 29 years, he became the father of Terah. And after he became the father of Terah, Nahor lived 119 years and had other sons and daughters. After Terah had lived 70 years, he became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. This is the account of Terah's family line. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran became the father of Lot. While his father Terah was still alive, Haran died in Ur of the Chaldeans in the land of his birth. Abram and Nahor both married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. She was the daughter of Haran, the father of both Milcah and Iscah. Now Sarai was childless, because she was not able to conceive. Terah took his son Abram, his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of his son Abram, and together they set out from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. Terah lived 205 years, and he died in Haran. Genesis.
Okay, my friends. So this was kind of a little history lesson, but either way, I have some notes to break it down for us. So let's get into it. First of all, Genesis 8 through 11 is packed with mercy, reset, obedience, and warnings. Okay, here are point number 1. God remembers even when the storm feels long. Genesis 8 starts with one powerful line. But God remembered Noah. The floods didn't end overnight. The waiting continued after the rain stopped. Just because the storm hasn't lifted yet does not mean that God forgot about you. Waiting is part of the obedience. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back who don't like to wait. Waiting is part of the obedience. Point number 2. Obedience doesn't end when the crisis is over. Noah obeyed before the flood, during the flood, and after the flood. Many people obey in emergencies. Then drift when things start to calm down. Faithfulness after the breakthrough matters just as much as faithfulness before. Like, you can be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Right? And then God fixes the crisis. And then you forgot about your oh my God. No. Be faithful to God always. Before the crisis, during the crisis, and after the crisis. Okay? Point number 3. Worship should be our first response, not our last resort. Worship should be your first response, not your last resort. Worship is not 911. Okay? It's just not. The first thing Noah does when he steps off the ark is build an altar. He doesn't go eat. He doesn't go make wine. He builds an altar for God. Okay? Worship shouldn't wait until life is perfect. Gratitude keeps your heart aligned with God. Noah proved that. He was so grateful that God got him through that storm that his first course of action was to build an altar and give God his sacrifice. Number 4, God is a covenant-keeping God. The rainbow doesn't decorate. It was a promise. The reminder that judgment would not be the final word. God keeps his promises even when humanity doesn't keep theirs. His mercies outlast our mistakes. Like, God will love us forever. It is us that need to stop making the mistakes, screwing up, going back to temptation, going back to the thing that hurts us, going back to the things that we don't need to be doing. And get more into our gratitude, get more into our worship, get more into our word, get more in aligned with God. Because God is there. He's waiting on you, on me, on all of us. Okay? Number 5, God bless humanity, but still expects responsibility. In Genesis 9, he shows blessing, authority, and boundaries. Okay? Blessing does not remove accountability. Freedom without obedience leads to destruction. Like, God gave us free will, right? But if you just go on free will, do whatever you want, that's just gonna lead you to a life of destruction. Drugs, alcohol, sex, all the things that are normal, that we enjoy. Excuse excuse me, that's just going to lead you to destruction. Like, that's not the life God wants for you. So, yes, he gives you free will, but he keeps you accountable. And you have the choice to do the right thing or do the worldly thing or do whatever you want. At the end of the day, my allergies are kicking my butt. I'm so sorry. At the end of the day, it's between you and God. But just because you have free will does not mean that you don't have to be obedient. You still have godly responsibilities. Number 6, even righteous people are still human. Noah's failure reminds us that being used by God doesn't make us immune to sin. Now, that's referring to Noah getting drunk and passing out naked, right? Like, human. He's a human. Yes, God asked him to save the world, if you think about it, right? That's what the whole ark and putting in all the animals and putting in all his family and then rebuilding the earth, right? Like, that was Noah's job for God. But he was still human and he still made mistakes and he still got drunk and was found naked laying on the ground. He shows us that we're human, that he knows we're going to make mistakes. A good start doesn't guarantee a faithful finish. We need daily dependence on God, not past victories. Like, it doesn't matter what we did yesterday. What are we doing today to be aligned with God? And then what are we doing tomorrow to stay aligned with God? And then what are we doing the day after tomorrow to stay in that covenant? It's not what we did yesterday, last month, last year. It's what we do every single day. Because yesterday's past. Ask for forgiveness, it's been forgotten, and let's move on. But what are you doing today? Number 7. Pride always tries to build towers instead of altars. Genesis 11 shows humanity uniting. I was going to say uniting. Humanity uniting, not for God, but for themselves. The Tower of Babel wasn't about bricks. It was about pride and control. Any unity that leaves God out will eventually fall apart. This is talking about when they said, okay, let's go ahead and everyone spoke the same language. Everyone knew, like, everybody was in sync. This group of people decided, let's be different. Let's have our own. Let's build bricks instead of using stones. And God was like, oh, no, I don't like where this is going. Let me give them other languages. And that's why the city became named Babel, because they were babbling. They couldn't understand each other because now they all had different languages, where before everybody was in sync and spoke one language. So whatever you decide to do, if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, God doesn't like that. Okay? Put God first. And I promise you that if it's aligned with God's goals for you, it will work out. Number 8, God scattered to protect, not to punish. God confused their languages to stop them from destroying themselves. He saw it happening. He's like, if these people start doing this, then here comes another destruction. And he had already promised Noah that he was not going to destroy the earth again, right? So he's like, oh, no. I'm not going to let this happen. I'm going to nip it in the butt. I'm going to stop it right here, right now. So sometimes God disrupts your plans because he sees where you can't. Delay and redirection can be mercy in disguise. And I believe that. Like, dude, I've been without a job for 2 months. But I feel like that's going to change next week. I just know it. I had 2 really good interviews. And I said 2 bomb thank you notes this morning. Thanks to ChatGPT. But yeah, the delay, the redirection, that's God's mercy. That's him. Like, you have to be patient and obedient. He's going to work it out for you. If you are faithful, if you are obedient, if you are patient, if you are kind, if you are loving. You see the pattern here? If you are grateful. Now, like the last couple of lives, I'm going to leave you with a couple of questions. And if you're brave enough, answer them in the comments. DM me, send me a prayer request, whatever it is that you need or want. But question number 1, am I still obeying God after the storm has passed? Be honest with yourself. Question number 2. Have I built altars of gratitude or towers of pride? Question number 3. Am I trusting God's promises or trying to control outcomes myself? That right there, like that right there. God is not just a God of rescue. He is the God of reset. But what you build after the flood matters. What you build after that crisis matters. What you do after God rescues you from whatever you got yourself into matters. So, I don't know what you're going through right now, but trust God to get you out of it. Then show gratitude for Him getting you out of it, and continue to stay faithful, because only God can do what He does. Not Satan, not the temptations in this world, not you, definitely not me, but God, only God. So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this live. Please share it. I don't know who needs to hear this message, but I know a lot of us are struggling, and we need to know that God's promise is for real and forever. So I love you guys, and I will try to catch you guys tomorrow. Mwah.